This isn't the BBC Light programme.
The Tony Hancock Appreciation Society presents Very Nearly an Armful, a Tony Hancock podcast.
Hello and welcome to Very Nearly an Armful, brought to you by the Tony Hancock Appreciation Society.
On the podcast, we'll be discussing Tony's famous series, Hancock's Half Hour.
We'll discuss the show, its production, and what we liked about it.
We'll rate and review the episode and just generally get our geek on about vintage comedy.
We're your hosts. I'm Martin Gibbons.
I'm John Street.
And I'm Tim Elms.
And we're spread across the southeast of the UK in a line from Colchester to Benfleet and via Maidstone.
And our members are spread all over the world. We have members in Liverpool, Hartlepool, Welshpool and Pontypool.
That's an awful lot of pools. I bet your toes are wet.
I'm going to say he's been going swimming this week.
He's been paddling, yeah. And in this podcast, we'll be discussing The Scandal Magazine, the second episode of the 5th radio series, as suggested by our member Elton Marion. This episode was recorded on the 26th of January and then broadcast on Tuesday the 28th of January 1958. This is a particularly saucy and hilarious episode in which Sid's new publication, Blabbermouth magazine, libelously asserts that Hancock was under the table with Mabel at the Bag of Nuts.
But first of all, chaps, what's everyone been up to?
Well, it's been, when we're recording this week for me has been school half term, so it's been quite nice out and about with the grandkids. Particularly enjoyed a little Halloween event at our local Leeds Castle where they have live actors around the grounds, and all those live actors come together to put on a little play. Runs for about 40 minutes a couple of times a day. So, because it's so interactive, the kids absolutely love it, going around talking to all these actors and that sort of thing. So it was great fun. And the weather was nice.
The weather was nice, surely not at this time of year, Martin.
I did feel for the actors, though, because the previous day it had been absolutely pouring hard, and I thought, they've contracted to do this show in the open air, and even if they've only got 2 people watching it, they've still got to do it.
Just stand there like a row of drowned rats.
I was going to say, it's not quite so easy to perform when you've got one hand on an umbrella, I wouldn't think, but there we go. Unless you're doing singing in the rain, of course.
Well, yeah, that could work. I've been up and about. We wandered around the town. We kind of go to a little cafe on a Saturday now as a brunch time sort of thing that we started doing, and often wander into CEX afterwards. And I saw in there for the mere price of £1 a Tommy Cooper DVD of one of those sort of compilation best of things,
Yes.
which I was tempted by, but then I remember that I've got 2 or 3 of those already and probably already have it. But it did get me thinking about Tommy, and of course he was in a film which also featured Sid James, a little-known film called And the Same to You, in which he plays William Hartnell's a boxing promoter, and you've got Brian Ricks as a boxer, and it's a sort of light comedy, and Tommy has an acting role as... I think it's sort of Bill Hartnell's assistant, kind of working for this boxing promoter.
Harris! Hello, boss. There's a couple of geezers outside. Where's my breakfast? It's empty. You must have had it for supper.
Did I? Oh. Have you done your road work yet?
8 miles, Mr. Burton.
Good. We'll do another at the double. And bring back a live one.
What about some money?
No, thanks. I'm all right at the moment.
No, boss. You owe 'em for yesterday.
Well, tell him it's been an accident.
What about the geezers out there?
Well, what do they look like? Bill collectors?
No. One's a sky pilot.
All right. Well, I'll attend to them. Now you hop it.
He's still very Tommy Cooper, but I can't really think that he did many other acting roles.
Well, I certainly haven't seen that one, John, but the other acting role I can think of is The Plank with Eric Sykes.
Oh, I suppose that is, yeah.
Which was a great little acting role for him. And I know when they remade it for television, it was Captain Mannering.
No, Arthur Lowe.
Arthur Lowe.
Stupid boy.
Yeah, it was Arthur Lowe with Eric. I'm sure it was Arthur Lowe with Eric Sykes for the television one.
I think you may be right.
Yeah, the film was longer and a better production. But yeah, Tommy Cooper was great in that.
I usually watch a bit of vintage comedy, and tell people about that. But recently, I've been looking at some vintage sci-fi. I love the old sci-fi films, and but the film I was watching actually surprised me when I found out it was vintage. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Do you realise that was made in 1968? That was
Yeah.
quite incredible. So, how many years is that? 50 something years, isn't it?
Well, that would be
57 years or something.
57 years, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if you guys saw that film. I mean, it was really influential when it came out. And even watching it now, I watched it on DVD recently. Even watching it now, it's hard to believe it was made at that time with, with the effects and the whole sort of premise of it. There's always been films about discovering aliens and things like that, right through the 50s and 60s and flying saucers and stuff like that. But this was just literally out of this world.
Well, had a lot more money, less shonky effects and dodgy alien makeup with rubber appendages, I expect. That's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, and the music score, they use music by Strauss, the Blue Danube, and Thus Spake Zarathustra is the theme, and it's just beautiful to watch, and it's quite relevant today because it's the basic story. It was written by Stanley Kubrick with Arthur C. Clarke, and it was about two astronauts who are sent away to Jupiter because basically there's been signs of alien life found. Anyway, the thing is, they're in this spacecraft, and there's a number of scientists in the spacecraft who've been put into hibernation for the journey. And the only other companion the astronauts have got is a computer, HAL 9000, who's called HAL. And he actually takes over the mission and tries to kill the astronauts and things like that, which is...
Goes mad space computer.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me. And I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
It's very much, in at this time with all the discussion about AI, etc. It's very much in vogue.
Yeah, very forward looking, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's done brilliantly as well.
I haven't seen it for years, but I remember that sort of, is it the opening sequences are these spacecraft moving through space in a very poetic way against the opening music.
Oh, absolutely, it's beautiful.
I've just remembered that as being so beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, the space station that's orbiting the Earth is in like a wheel shape, and it's so believable even now. It's just and it's just beautifully shot, way ahead of its time. But there is a vintage comedy connection because one of the actors in it is a star of British vintage comedy. Any guesses?
Ooh. Well, I'm aware of the film, but I haven't seen it. I'm aware of how they filmed some of the bits where they actually had rotating sets and all of those sort of things.
The actor is Leonard Rossiter. Reggie Perrin fame and Rising Damp fame. So he appears as a Russian scientist. So this was 68. So this would have been before either of the shows that he was famous for. In fact, it would have been before we know him from Steptoe because he did an edition of Steptoe, didn't he?
That's right.
He was the escaped prisoner in the Desperate Hours, wasn't he?
Yes.
So it was obviously after that, but it was before he made his real claim to fame when he did Rising Damp and Reggie Perrin in the 70s.
Oh, Rigsby, yeah.
What's that doing there? What? That! You know I don't allow bugs now. Come on, get it out. Come on, I suppose I've got tar marks all over the line, have I? Come on, get it out before I kick your spokes in.
You leave that back alone.
Oh, so that's it. You've got a woman in. And you've been drinking.
No, she only drinks from a canister.
Oh, yeah. Don't you give me that. You didn't bring her there just to ring her bell, mate. You've been having an orgy, haven't you? Eh? That's what the only thing I can't make out is what the bike's for.
Yeah, it's fascinating. See, the only recent sort of comedy thing I've watched is a modern sitcom on the BBC iPlayer called Juice, which is that's a bit of a surreal kind of one. It's quite, well, it appeals to me as a gay man because it's written by a gay guy and is the lead character's, gay, but it's not obviously a big kind of thing, but it's just quite nice. And I thought, you don't often come across that in comedy. You might in drama or something like that, perhaps, where your lead character's gay, but it's, quite refreshing. It's also quite surreal, which kind of appeals to me.
I love your house, It makes me feel like an adult.
You are an adult? I think I'm ready to meet your parents.
Mumsy! I have some good news.
Marriage?
No.
Kids?
What? Oh. My boyfriend Guy might come to dinner tonight.
I told his name was Alan. I just love you. Welcome!
You think you are so special.
This was meant to be my big moment.
Our big moment.
Your partner will let you down. And then, death.
Influenced by Buster Keaton and things like that.
It's called Juice and it's quite refreshing.
It's quite refreshing, yes.
Yes.
Got old Russell Tovey in there, who's from my neck of the woods, and people like that as well. So, yeah, very, very entertaining and surreal. I would recommend it.
Oh, sounds like one that's worth having a look. That's on BBC, is it, John?
It's a BBC Three special thing on the iPlayer. They made a couple of series, I think.
I might have a look.
Only part way through, so...
Okay. Well, thinking of the vintage comedy, I've picked up a couple of episodes of Sykes in the last couple of weeks, so thoroughly enjoyed that. My interest is in vintage bus transport and trolley buses and that, so there was a lovely episode simply called Bus, where Eric and Hattie decide they're going to run their bus route as an airline with a supermarket trolley with goods for sale going down the middle of the bus and down the aisle, and it's great fun. Very surreal as well.
I was going to say, that's quite a surreal idea, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of Driver Sykes and his crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard Route Master 266. There will be no smoking on the lower decks. We'll be cruising at about 9 miles an hour, and our ETA is 11:05 our time. We trust you have a pleasant voyage. The weather is fine in Cricklewood. Thank you very much for travelling with us, and we hope we have the pleasure of your company again. Bonjour, monsieur et mesdames. You might have waited for me to finish.
Come in. It's only me, sir. I know it's you, Burnside. Oh. Yes. Well, I travelled on the 266, sir, to disguise it away, to find out, sir. And quite frankly, I was amazed.
Were you really?
Yes. They're running it like an airline now.
They're not flying it, are they?
No, sir. But Boyle speaks before they start, and at every stop he gets off and comes through talking to the passengers. I won second prize for the I Spy with My Little Eye contest. I'd have won first prize if I'd had the right glasses on.
They did go into that elements of fantasy, didn't they, with Sykes? It does get very, very heightened compared to, say, something like Hancock, which is reasonably grounded for the most part.
Yes. Well, you say that, it's interesting because, I suppose a bit of Hancock news really is that the Society now has 5 of the 6 scripts from the second series of the Tony Hancock show for ATV. And we believe that the first couple, at least, were written by Eric Sykes. And one of those, the very first one, is about Hancock trying to modernise the railways by running it, not as an airline, but more of in an army fashion. So sort of a similar idea, really, to the episode Bus. So it's been great fun having a look through these scripts, and listeners who want to find out more, there will be more probably in a magazine, Society magazine, in the new year. But it's great to finally be able to look at the second series of the Tony Hancock show, which all we've known about before has just been the titles of the episodes.
Yeah, exactly. And sadly, no audio, no video or anything has surfaced, but we live in hope. Maybe one day. Yeah.
Whole of the first series survives, but yeah, as you say, absolutely nothing from the second series.
Are there any other Hancock headlines you wanted to mention this week, Martin?
In Hancock news this week, we'll be back to the Riverside Studios on the 31st of January. Starting at 2:00, we'll be showing The New Nose from Hancock's Half Hour, The Bedsitter from Hancock, and once again, we've got permission to show an episode from Hancock's 1963 series, just called Hancock, and the episode we'll be showing is The Eyewitness. Hope to see some of you there.
Sounds like an excellent day out.
Another bit of Hancock news, of course, is that we three have been on another podcast, and that we joined Rob and Guy on the Britcom Goes to the Movies podcast, where we had a look at the Punch and Judy Man film and also the ATV 1963 series Hancock. And that was released back at the end of October, so that's available on all the usual platforms.
Yes, indeed. It was a very good chat with them. I think that was a thoroughly enjoyable evening spent.
Yeah, it certainly was. And I think
I
think if listeners want to look back at their archive of their podcast, they also did one on the Rebel, which we weren't involved in. But so they did one on the Rebel a few months ago as well, didn't they, Tim?
I think it was a bit
longer. It was a bit more than a few months. Yeah, a couple of years ago, but it's there. You can find it. Yeah, it's certainly available.
Yeah, well worth a watch, or a listen, I should say.
So then, I think it's time for some tweets and emails. So what's been your digital mailbag this week, Timothy?
Well, I had an email from one of our members, Dave Perry, and Dave was listening to something on BBC Sounds from 1982. And I don't know whether you guys have come across this before. I don't think I have. It was a programme called Wally Who.
Oh, yes.
Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Very familiar, yes. That was written by Grant and Naylor, who went on to write Red Dwarf, very much aping Galton Simpson.
Ah, right. Well, that's right. I mean, Dave was saying, how much the character played by Tony Brandon sounds like Hancock. And he did a bit of a check through his collection and found an article in an old edition of Railway Cuttings, issue number 15, going back some years.
Oh, that's a way back.
Railway Cuttings was the Society's magazine before the missing page, so we're probably going back 20, 30 years here. But anyway, he found an issue of Railway Cuttings where comparisons with Hancock were made. And there was also, in that article, a quote from the Evening Standard at the time, who said that the programme sounds like Hancock in search of a good script, which I thought was quite amusing. But so he'd come across this. It's still on BBC Sounds now, but it's going to be taken off, I think, very, very soon by the time this podcast goes out. So if anyone wants to hear it, they'll need to click on BBC Sounds fairly quick. But as it's written, Bob Grant, is it, John, who wrote it?
Rob Grant and Doug Naylor, I believe.
Oh, it's Rob Grant and Naylor, right, okay.
I believe so.
And from 1962. So, that's from an interesting
1982.
One. Sorry, 1982. Close.
What's got into you? Nothing. It's just I feel there's so much of me that's unexplored. I mean, what chance do I get to talk about my interest in Italian opera? You can hardly bring it up naturally in conversation with that lot, can you? You mentioned Puccini's Madame Butterfly to Ronnie, and all he's interested in is how big her boobs are.
Bird watching, fell walking, Italian opera. I thought your main interests were just drinking and scratching yourself.
Well, that's just what I'm on about, Eric. The finer side of my character has been suppressed for far too long. I mean, the lads. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm very, very fond of them. But they're a bunch of morons, aren't they?
Yes, well, I give you that Ronnie is no Bamber Gascoigne.
Bamber Gascoigne? He's not even Nicholas Parsons.
Yeah, it also has, what I will say, is the worst theme tune I have ever heard. It's absolutely awful.
Really?
We present Tony Brandon as Wally Thornton in... Wally who?
But the performance by Tony Brandon, who is a radio DJ for the most part, he did a bit few acting jobs, is very, very Hancock-like. it stands out as quite a good radio show, actually, but possibly it's overshadowed by its comparison to Tony Hancock.
Was he doing it deliberately, do you think?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes,
I
he
think
was,
so.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean...
Has he done anything else? I haven't heard of Tony Brandon.
He's a comedian. He's 91. He's still with us.
Oh, right.
He is an English radio presenter and comedian. Worked on Luxembourg in the 60s, Radio London.
Oh, yes, I remember now.
Joined Radio 1 in 67.
I remember him from the Radio London, Radio Luxembourg days. Yeah, I didn't realise it was him.
Yeah,
oh, right.
In 1970 he had a daily show, Sounds Like Tony Brandon.
Sounds like Tony Hancock.
Yay, he certainly does.
You are hopeless, aren't you? Well, it's not easy reading a map when you're being bounced about all over the place.
It's a jolly good job you didn't go with Columbus, mate. Discover America. That'd be a laugh, wouldn't it? He'd never have got off the A37.
So he's semi-retired now. I probably fairly retired because he's 91. But he was still going in the early noughties. But in terms of acting, I think this might be one of his very few forays. He might have done a few bits, but he was more presenter.
I had another email from new member Adam Yates. Now, Adam was saying that he used to live in Cheam. And one of the things he was saying was that in the episode where they're on the bus, and I think we're talking about Sid in Love when they get on the bus.
Oh, yes.
And it's a 93 bus in the TV show. And Adam was saying that there really is a 93 bus that goes through Cheam. So I hadn't realised that they'd done that deliberately. But what he was wondering was whether the outside shots for that were actually filmed in Cheam. And he said that some years ago he contacted Tessa, who was Galton Simpson's manager, about it to say, do you know if they did this in Cheam? And she said, well, hold on, I'm with Ryan Allen at the moment. I'll ask him. And so she ended up with a nice email back saying, they can't, I think they said they can't remember whatever. But, Ryan Allen said, thank you very much for your interest and all that sort of thing, which he was quite delighted about. We never know for sure with all these things, but I think all the outside shots that I'm aware of were filmed in Barnes, which was just across the bridge from the Riverside Studios, where Martin and I go for events and where they made a number of episodes of Hancock's Half Hour. And I'm pretty sure I've seen reference in previous magazines to Barnes Common and places being used for these shots. And also there was the Ericsson the Viking. There's a lot of outside shots when they do that sort of...
In which they also get onto a bus.
Yes, well, that was apparently filmed in Hampstead Heath for some reason. I don't know why they went up there to do that, but I saw something in another magazine, an old magazine recently about that. Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but you're not aware of anything being filmed in Cheam, are you?
No, I'm not aware of anything. Just thinking
so.
thinking of Sid in Love, obviously when they're on the bus and you can see things flashing past the window, that's presumably a set.
That's a set, that's a studio, all the lights going past.
So you don't see that much of the bus out and about, do you?
You see them getting on it, don't you?
You're seeing them getting on it and odd bits like that.
They cut to an outside scene where the bus driver gets out of the bus, walks around the bus,
yes.
and then they cut back to studio.
Yes.
So there's a couple of things there, but I mean, I don't know if that would have been involving Tony and Sid or whatever, but they'd have filmed something somewhere, having borrowed a bus by whatever means they did.
And also, Adam was saying that in Series 6, where they're trying to keep fit and the laundrette and all that,
yeah.
And he said that looks very much like Cheam Village, but I'm pretty sure that is one that I've seen pictures of in the missing page where that was Barnes. But
I'm not sure the exact place, but there is certainly something I saw online where someone had gone and photographed exactly where they were running.
Yes,
yes.
I can't quite remember where I saw it or when, but.
And I think you're right, Tim. I'm sure when I read that it was in Barnes, or anyway, just over the river from the studios.
Yes, yeah. I mean, over the last 50 years, or whatever, fans have sought out all these places, haven't they? And as you say, gone there and taken pictures. The same they did the Rebel and the Punch and Judy Man and all that. Yeah.
As I'm sure they do for many other shows. I mean, in some places it's more obvious. Dad's Army was always filmed in, was it Thorrington, I think, or somewhere like that.
all the outside shots are all done up in Norfolk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thetford.
Thetford.
Thetford. That's what I was thinking. And you had us began with a T.
And the reason they did it in Thetford?
It's where the producer lived. And, well,
right.
co-writer, producer, yeah.
David Croft lived down the road.
Come and film it on my back door. I've got kids. I don't want to be travelling.
Yeah, exactly. I can't be bothered to come down somewhere else.
Yeah.
You can all come to me.
And then there's the little village up in Yorkshire. Is it Holmfirth or something? Or was that the fictional name? Last of the Summer Wine?
Last of the Summer Wine. Yeah, I think that's a real place.
Yeah. There's a lot more outside shots in that than there is in the Hancock.
I had a tweet. Well, we was doing some tweets recently. You know that gag in Hancock's Half Hour where they said Sid says, there's a car behind, he's going 80 miles an hour, and he said, we won't sell any crumpets at that speed or something. You know,
you're not going to sell many crumpets doing that speed. Yes, I say that whenever I hear a siren go past.
Sid,
What?
there's a car behind us.
So what?
It's ringing a bell. I wonder what it's doing that for.
Probably selling crumpets.
I shouldn't think he'll sell many doing 80 miles an hour. Wait a minute. That's not a crumpet seller. Sid, it's a police car. They're chasing somebody.
Some years later, there was a similar gag in A Morecambe Wise because Eric Morecambe hears a police siren outside, and they say, "Oh, it's an ice cream man." And he says, "Oh, you won't sell many ice cream."
You're not going to sell many ice cream going at that speed, yeah.
So it's the same sort. So we was doing tweets about that basically. But anyway, I got a reply back from the Morecambe and Wise archive. They were saying, because Morecambe Wise and Hancock were on the same bill at the windmill, which of course we knew. And we said, yeah. And what this guy then said was, well, yes, I've actually got the programme from him. Now, we've never had this programme in our archive. We have got some windmill programmes from the late 40s of different shows. But I've been looking, I don't go around the shops every day looking for it, but I've been looking for some years to come across this and looking on eBay and things to find the actual programme of the show that Hancock was in. And these guys at the Morecambe Wise Archive actually had a copy, and they very kindly DM'd me some pictures, and they're going to go back and do a proper scan for us a bit later. So we've actually got some photographs taken of this programme. So,
brilliant!
On the show, apart from all the sort of musical bits and the lovely ladies that the guys went to the windmill to actually see, you've got
the old Raincoat Brigade.
So number 2 on the bill after the opening number is Derek Scott and Hank, who of course is Hancock with Derek Scott, their double act. And then at number 4, after another musical number, there's Harry Worth. And then later on in the second half at number 12, you've got Morecambe Wise. So if you'd gone to the windmill to see the show that Hancock was in at that time, not that you'd have heard of him, you'd have seen Hancock, Harry Worth and Morecambe Wise all on the same bill.
All on the same one. What a show.
All in their youth.
But in fact, as the story goes, Morecambe Wise got chucked off the show because, what's his name, Vivian Van Dam, the guy who owned the place, said there was only room for one double act. So he had Derek Scott and Hank, and he had Morecambe Wise. And after a couple of weeks, he had to get rid of one of them, and he got rid of Morecambe Wise. But needless to say, they bounced back some years later and did rather well.
They did indeed. It took a few goes. There was a few. I think there's their first TV foray was described by one reviewer as the box they should have buried Morecambe Wise in, or something like that, didn't it? So their first show wasn't great, but obviously much later.
Was that Two of a Kind, their first one?
Might have been.
Look, if you're sitting in a draft, why don't you go and close the curtains?
It's a good idea. I will. He's not going to sell much ice cream going at that speed, is he?
Lovely night, isn't it?
Lovely full moon out there, huh?
There's a red tint in the sky. Yeah. It's going to be a lovely day tomorrow.
Yes, for some, but not for you.
Why not for me?
That red tint in the sky.
Yeah?
The bank's on fire.
Actually, their first TV show was Running Wild in 1954, and no copies exist in the archives.
I think Harry Worth at that stage was a ventriloquist, wasn't he? Did I read somewhere? I'm not an expert on Harry Worth, but I think...
I've got a feeling. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I know him from sitcoms in the 60s and stuff.
And the window gag with the leg and the arm.
Yeah, the window. I used to do that whenever I went out with my mum and dad on a Saturday shopping when I was a kid. There was a particular shop that had this like mirror with a 90-degree angle, a shoe shop or something, and I always stood there and did the window thing.
Everyone knows the window thing of Harry Worth, even me,
Yeah.
and I'm not very familiar. But yes, he did indeed do ventriloquism in his career, so you are remembering correctly there, Tim.
Yes. Not remembering.
Remembering what you've read.
This was 1948, John.
Well, your 90-reelers painting you in the attic keeps changing.
Oh dear, don't you just love him?
I'm a rogue. So then, I guess it's time for our main subject of the Scandal magazine. So what did you think of that one, Martin?
Well, this has always been one of my go-to episodes. It's an amazing episode, and just a little bit risque for the 1950s, possibly in places. And I think it's Hattie has such a great role in this, doesn't she?
Well, two, to be precise.
Well, two roles to be precise. But it's great to hear Hattie really getting something she can really get her teeth into.
Meaty bit of performance and something to get her she's quite emotive, isn't she?
Oh, she is. And the opening line where Tony just comes in and innocently says, "Oh, good morning,
Mr. Hancock, you ought to be ashamed of yourself."
Yes.
Good morning, Miss Pugh.
Mr. Hancock, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
And then, as you say, she's absolutely brilliant later on.
That first scene, with basically is that I know Bill comes in for bits and pieces, but that opening scene with Hattie and Hancock is one of the best scenes in the whole of Hancock's half hour, I think. And the way the gunfire chatter between them, toing and froing, is just superb. And like Martin, it's one of my go-to episodes. I think it's probably one of the. It's right up the top of Hancock's half hour. It's a brilliant script, absolutely sparkles and goes along, and the cast are on such good form, really enjoying it, and it's just, and the plot and everything. It's just a damn good program. And I think I said once before for one of the episodes that if someone had never seen a Hancock's half hour or heard a Hancock's half hour, which one would you recommend? It's one of those episodes because it just sums up the whole thing. It's wonderful.
It does, doesn't it, really? I mean, I think it's, as well, I mean, that opening scene that you mentioned, that goes on for, I think it's about 9 to 11 minutes. I can't
11,
quite
12
remember.
minutes, yeah.
And
yeah.
Bill is only in the last sort of 2 or 3 minutes of that, so that a big chunk of it is just Tony and Hattie, as you say, sparring delightfully with some wonderful language as well, like "you despicable ill-bred brute." Beautiful insults.
Fun?
I always knew you were a despicable, ill-bred brute.
Miss Pugh, Griselda.
Don't come near me. I've got my hand on the phone. I'll call the police.
Absolutely wonderful lines all the way through it. It really is a Galton and Simpson classic, isn't it? Absolutely. It just sums up their fantastic skill. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, every line, as you say, every line is either a new laugh or setting up the next one. It's just, it's non-stop.
And it's quite interesting that we're doing this podcast after the previous one we did, of course, was a Blackball Jundle, which I had a bit of difficulty that with some respects, which probably came across in things I was saying about it, because although it's a fantastic episode and a great parody and the cast were enjoying themselves and Bill was absolutely superb and I love Rock Around the Clock and all that, but the fact is it wasn't their characters. It's they were using other people's characters, the ones in the film.
It's not a very Hancock's half hour like episode of Hancock's half hour.
It's fantastic, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But this is the real deal, isn't it? This is, you get the real characters. You get Sid Swindle. You get Hancock doing what he does best. You get Hattie doing what she does best, and Bill and whatever. It's just And you know, and the piece by Kenneth is a classic piece of Kenneth, absolutely classic. But very different episode in its entirety than when you try to review it alongside the Blackboard Jungle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And all the parody episodes are like the Blackboard Jungle in that they're either playing different characters or they are playing themselves playing different characters.
Yes.
Whichever way round Ray and Alan have written the script. And it's always that bit different. And I usually find, for me, the parody episodes are always less of a go-to for me than when you've got Tony, Bill and Hattie and Sid playing themselves as they are in this one.
But I love Round the World in 80 Days because I think that's them, isn't it? It's not some...
Yes, that's them.
I don't know. Are you saying you don't listen to Anna and the King of Siam regularly? Hey, he's proud of his old bald head. Hey! I love that. It's so stupid.
That little song is just... Yes, that is absolutely brilliant.
One of the few occasions you hear Tony singing.
Oh, air. I've got none on me novel. I don't care. As down the street I toddle, all the people say he's a good old fella bred. I never give a knock, I'm a jolly old cock, I'm proud of me old bald head. Oh, he's proud, his old bald head. Hey!
when I've got my Hancock playlist on, when that comes on, I skip forward. Sorry to say.
I love it. It's brilliant. But then I had it on a cassette from when I was like 8, so I can't really...
Yeah, and it was great because in the collectible series you've got the slightly longer version, but more importantly it's got the different opening music, which is so unusual for Hancock's Half Hour to change the opening music.
On the original broadcast, they did a version of rather than have the standard opening theme, they had this music from the film. It's from the film Anna The King and I with Yul Brynner and
which is where the bald head comes in, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
While we're talking about parodies, is this episode a parody then?
I don't know if it's a parody, but I think it's a satire, isn't it?
Well, I think it probably is
It's not quite a parody, but it is inspired by a film.
What film's that then?
And the film was The Naked Truth with Peter Sellers and Terry Thomas, which was released literally a month before this programme was done.
Oh, okay.
And it's about a blackmailer who has his own magazine and threatens several potential victims.
And said blackmailer was in what film starring Tony Hancock? It plays Jim Smith in the Rebel. It's what's his name?
Go on then.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head, so I'm going to have to Google it. But I know his face. It's old Thingamy Bob, who I always mix up with someone else.
Now we know.
Oh no, we're going to stay here and we're going to discuss this thing very quietly.
Starring Terry Thomas at his laughter-making best, and Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers.
An Englishman, all right.
The man of 1,000 crazy characters.
What, boar? Boar? Oh, boar, no. A few rabbits, pheasants, a small fry.
No, sir. Boar. B-O-R-E.
Boar.
Peggy Mount on her funniest form, planning to be the death of someone.
Right. That's whiskey, gin, sherry, tea, coffee, cocoa, all Mickey Finn. He's bound to accept one or the other.
Mumsy! Oh, Mumsy! This is stark, staring murder!
Dennis Price as a smarmy blackmailer whose destruction drives everyone to distraction. Lovely Shirley Eaton as one of Dennis's vivacious victims.
You can't print this. Pay up in a fortnight or I publish in a month. Don't bother kick me out.
So obviously Ray and Alan and Tony and that went to the cinema every week, I should think, in those days, and they went and saw everything. So they would have definitely seen this film, and the timing of it is just too coincidental. The fact that it just come out 3 or 4 weeks before, it would have just given them the spur of an idea, wouldn't it?
Well, it probably would, because
it doesn't follow the plot. It doesn't follow the plot. But
there's a magazine
the
involved.
idea.
But...
Yeah, a magazine editor blackmailing people, so yeah.
Because I wondered if it was inspired by some court case of the day and couldn't find anything. Although I think the gossip magazines that this is sort of based on did sort of flourish in the 50s and 60s. I think that's when they sort of
absolutely.
started.
Yeah.
And I did look up, and it said it was an American mag called Confidential. It was founded in 1952, and by the sort of the mid 50s had a circulation of over 10 million. So gossip magazines were clearly very, very popular in 1950s. Well, presumably in 1950s Britain as well. But that's great that it's inspired by a film, Tim.
And said film had Dennis Price as the blackmailer.
Oh, Dennis Price, right.
I've got this in one of the, I think it's the Terry Thomas box set or one of those. And you've got Peggy Mount, you've got Joan Sims. It's got a fantastic cast, and it's quite dark in places as well. And Peter Sellers doing a very dodgy Irish accent, or I think it's, trying to get some more of the old Jellignoit. In intention, it's meant to be a bad impression because he plays someone who does impressions on stage for a career. So he's sort of playing a twisted version of himself in some way in that film. But it is a beautifully done film, and very, very recommended by me.
Excellent.
Excellent. One to look up.
This is quite film related though, because there's a couple of films dropped in it, isn't it? I mean, to jump forward slightly in the episode, Sid says, well, what's going to come out in next month's edition is Man with the Golden Arm was based on your life. Lost Weekend was based on your dad's.
Then it goes on to tell how you go around Soho coffee bars selling cigarettes at £0.50 each, breaking into chemist shops. Man with the Golden Arm was based on your life. Lost Weekend was based on your dad's. And the Mr. X mentioned in the recent court case was really you. It's all here.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Man with the Golden Arm was a old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. As a recovering drug addict. And Lost Weekend was a film with Ray Milland as a recovering alcoholic, essentially.
Writer.
A not very recovering alcoholic, I think, is essentially the plot from what I read. But, there's a lot of little sort of topical bits in this one.
Yeah, and it's the references that you don't get in the parody episodes again, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I know that when Tony says Hattie will give all the gossip at the mothers' meeting, it's all true, and he then quotes Bluebeard, which was a folk tale about a wealthy man who's in the habit of murdering his wives. And of course, Dorian Gray, who's the Oscar Wilde gothic horror from the late 1800s, which we mentioned about the picture in the attic changing whilst he doesn't age. That's where that comes from, isn't it? It's
I love that line as well. It's one that I spout quite regularly. If people give me a compliment, oh, you don't look your age, I've got a painting in the attic.
A painting in the attic, yeah.
Doesn't happen so much now. But
I shall sue this magazine for libel and defamation of character.
There's no smoke without fire.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You love a bit of scandal down at the mothers' meeting. Yep. Be the centre of attraction. Of course, I know him, it's all true. The things I could tell you. And I will. Piling it on there, Bluebeard, Dorian Gray. He sold his soul, He's 90, really. There's a painting of him up in the attic that keeps changing.
But it fits in with the sort of slightly hedonistic sort of theme to this episode, doesn't it, really?
It does a bit, doesn't it? I always thought of it's Bluebeard. I always think of him as a pirate, but I suppose that's Blackbeard, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And there's some nice ad-libs to the audience, which seem to have been kept in a lot of versions of this, because this one was released on Tony Hancock Volume 3 in 1982, and the BBC started releasing episodes on LP, so this is one of the first 6, essentially. And I think they chose it very well, and it's edited down a bit, but there is an ad-lib where to the audience he says, "This is ludicrous." As someone laughs, it's bad enough with her without you chipping in, mate. And there's a couple of little moments.
You can't quite hear what the audience member has said, can you? They must have said something.
I think it's just they did a big guffawing laugh, or they must have made a face.
Is that what it was? Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You couldn't quite hear, but I like that because you've got, this is ludicrous with a laugh. Then you've got the ad lib, which gets another laugh. And then he says, "Now, where are we?" And then he says, of course, this is ludicrous again. And guess what? There's a third laugh.
Gets another laugh.
It's another laugh.
What a follow-up. What a sequel. Same man strikes secretary with daffodil bowl.
Oh, this is ludicrous. Do you mind? It's bad enough with her without you chipping in, mate. Where are we? Oh, this is ludicrous. Calm down and tell me, what is it I'm supposed to have done?
You're a menace to respectable people. You're low life. That's what you are. The lowest of the low, worse than an animal.
And as you say, then there's the second one, which I now can't remember.
Rough lot here tonight.
There's rough lot here tonight. Yeah, that's it. Because, those are nice to hear. I always enjoy hearing those ad-libs. And the surprising thing is that of all the things that were trimmed from the episode for some of the early LP and cassette releases, those were left in, I think. Both of them. Certainly the first one was.
Yeah, and it is. And it was left in the transcription. Certainly the second one was left in the transcription version as well.
Which only runs to about 26 minutes at most at the right speed, you know.
I've remembered the other one now. Tony says, what a load of rubbish. Me, a debonair man about town, a romantic lounge lizard. I mean, look at me. Then there's the laugh, and then he says, that's enough.
What a lot of rubbish. Me, a debonair man about town, a romantic lounge lizard. I mean, look at me. That's enough. That's enough. Pretty rough lot here tonight, man.
That's a pretty rough lot in here tonight.
Yeah.
And you talked about them enjoying themselves. I mean, those two ad-libs clearly show that they were having the time of their lives recording this.
It makes me think of the time we went to see the Missing Hancocks and their final recordings. And there's an episode where he's talking about Mrs. Emmeline Pankhurst. And he says, Mrs. Parkhurst? Who the hell's Mrs. Parkhurst? And then he, but that ad-lib was not kept in the broadcast version, sadly. So that is retained in my memory only.
Yeah, I think the only ad-lib I think that was retained in the Missing Hancocks is when I think it's Sid.
The TV one.
No, possibly on the TV. I was thinking of the Missing Hancocks on the radio when Kenneth, Robin Sebastian's been doing his nut as Kenneth, and Sid says, "Why all the overacting?"
And you should see his reference books. All the bloodthirsty murders that have ever happened. Lovely, yes.
Yeah, but why all the overacting? Yeah, but why all the mystery?
Why all the overacting? Yes, that's the new neighbour.
That's the new neighbour.
And the other ad lib in that is like, oh look, new TV set. Must be all of 8 inches.
18, yeah.
Which was ad-libbed by Kevin McNally.
Cool, look at all that stuff going in. Look. Television set, big screen. Must be all of 8 inches.
Of course, I'd forgotten that one.
Yeah. But I think that was a deliberate ad-lib, maybe. They thought of it in advance. I quite like the thing. It meant like you should be locked up. Well, I agree, but not without knowing why.
But don't why? Why?
That whole kind of opening system, a scene, and I particularly like some of the descriptive language used. What I can gather from Mistress Purity here is something she's read, and what I can gather from Dissipated Harriet involves me and a bird. You know, that's what a wonderful descriptive words.
And it goes like that the whole way through, doesn't it? I mean, it just seems incredible that two guys can sit down and write a script like this.
Wait a minute, I'm beginning to see some light. From what I deduce from Mistress Purity here, it's something she's read. And from what I can gain from Dissipated Harry here... from what I can gain from him, they have connected my name with a lady. You've read something about me and a bird, haven't you?
You know, some of the sort of throwaway lines, I've been known to get quite worked up over cheese labels. I mean, what a fantastic line that is. And it's just, and it's...
It describes a concise sort of person that doesn't get up to this sort of behaviour, doesn't it?
And then, but Bill's response, what a cover-up, cheese labels.
Yeah.
How do you do it, Tub?
I know a bit of brass works down the pickle factory. Oh,
Yeah. Money in the bank.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What a cover-up, cheese labels. Why didn't you tell me, Tub? I mean, a doll like that, we could have got together. We could have had a ball. I know a bit of brass works down the pickle factory. Money in the bank. Woohoo.
Stop nudging me in the ribs. A bit of brass works down at the pickle factory. They're charming.
It's always the rough girls down at the pickle factory that Bill associates with. I mean, going back to the first radio series, isn't it? You know, the third episode, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Idol, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then, of course, just slightly earlier, Hattie says, what a sequel. Same man attacks secretary with daffodil bowl. I mean, it's just such a precise and amazing image, isn't it?
It is, but that's always struck me as slightly unusual. You know, a daffodil vase, maybe. A daffodil bowl? Do you have bowls of daffodils? Or is it meant to be a bowl that's decorated with pictures of daffodils?
Oh, no, I think it's a little
I
pot.
think you might have a bowl where it's like a pot, and you'd have the daffodil in the bulb in the soil as opposed to just flowers. That's how I imagined it.
Yeah,
right.
I think, yeah.
A single flower pot thing.
Yeah, I think it was one interesting bit. You know me, I'd always like to find the missing bits from that's in the script and not in the episode.
We rely on you to read the script on our behalf.
Yeah,
Tim and I can't read, didn't you know?
So after Tony says, "Oh, this is ludicrous," calm down, tell me what I'm supposed to have done. Hattie says, "Repeat it. I'm a decent, respectable girl, although that wouldn't mean very much to you, would it? Repeat it. It was bad enough reading about it, let alone repeating it. You'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like to hear all the sordid details over again." Tony says, "No, just once, that's all." Hattie, "It's a kink. I've read about people like you. Freud had some interesting things to say about people like you."
Ooh.
Tony, "Fred who?" Hattie, "Freud." Tony, "Fred Freud. Where is he? What's his telephone number? Where did he say it? Down the pub, I'll wager. None of them like me down there."
I tweeted that the other night, yeah. Brilliant line, isn't it?
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
I think the reference to it being a kink of some kind, I think I can understand maybe why that one potentially got cut from the broadcast. But when you listen, I mean, the longest version of this is 30 minutes and 55 seconds or thereabouts. The shortest version is about 25 minutes or thereabouts. So, you know, having been edited. But even when you listen to that longest version, there are clearly a lot of little moments where you think, I feel like they've cut a line out there because someone's sentence stops slightly abruptly and then it cut. You know, I feel like there's lots of little moments where they kind of, you don't always notice, but I think with a keen ear you can kind of notice that they might, you know, their tone of voice might change one sentence to the other and they've cut it in the middle of a laugh because they had to do a retake or something. And there's a lot of little bits like that in this one, isn't there?
Yeah, I think that, yes, I think you could just notice odd little bits like that as you go through the episode. But it is quite a long episode, so you wouldn't think that the original, if there is a longer version, would have been much longer than this. But anyway, that's something we may never know, unless, of course, we find an original recording from the 50s of this one.
Well, it might have just been that's where they had to trim a fluff out in some places, of course.
Possible, quite possible.
Sometimes when we're doing a display of Hancock material at an event, we've actually got a mock-up of the magazine Blabbermouth that someone did many years ago and still survives. I've got it here somewhere with photos of all these people on and, you know, it gives all the page numbers of who's on what page and that sort of thing.
Errol Flynn, Victor Mature, Diana Dawes, all of that.
And Tony Hancock, pages 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
I couldn't have done all this, surely.
Errol Flynn, page 4 and 5. Victor Mature, page 6. Diana Dawes, page 7. Tony Hancock, page 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. See, this is ridiculous. I couldn't do all this. Must be somebody else.
I suppose that photograph is of someone else, too.
Yes, of course it is. No, it's not. It's me. She's right. It's me.
But but what's interesting, I'm sorry, missing bit on the script, I couldn't do all this. Not a man of my build. That's what's in the script, but that last little bit isn't. Well, I don't think that's in the episode.
No,
but that's a shame.
A good line, isn't it?
That's a great little line.
It's a fantastic line.
And I'm probably going to embarrass myself by saying I had to look up who Victor Mature was because I didn't know who he was.
What?
He's an actor, isn't he? I think.
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, I wrote down handsome Tarzan type.
Hollywood star, wasn't he?
Yeah. There we are. I knew I'd embarrass myself saying that, but yeah.
Well, I'm not overly familiar with Victor Mature. He lived till 1999, though, apparently.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, he's not one of the. He's not as known as sort of Gable or Errol Flynn are still known today. But there we go. I don't know if he was known for being lascivious, particularly in his era, but maybe.
The only thing I could really find out was he was married 5 times.
That'll do it.
Will that do? Will that be a good enough reason?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I love the bit Hattie is berating Hancock and says no one would have anything other than the utmost contempt for you. And then, of course, Bill walks in and says, "Congratulations, Tub."
How do you do it?
How do you do it? But I was quite interesting because obviously, we're quite a way through the Hancock's half hours, and Bill's coming over in this as quite a confident man about town.
He's playing early Bill, isn't he? He's
playing quite an early Bill in this one.
No one who could have anything but the utmost contempt for you.
Hiya, Tub. Congratulations.
No one but Mr. Kerr, of course.
You dog, Tub. You're a sly one, you are. I didn't think you had it in you, Tub. I'm proud of you, boy. I didn't think you went in for that sort of thing.
Look, don't you start.
Well, at the beginning, he's kind of, roguish, slick, ladies' man type. Oh, hey, what you been up to?
Yeah.
At the end, less so. At the end, he's a bit more falling into. I've known Tony Hancock for 6 years now. He's reading it. No, he's not. You're holding board up in front of him. All of that.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Because it's both, isn't it?
Tell the court how long you've known me.
I have known Tony Hancock for 6 years now, and during that time I have never known him to consort with members of the opposite.
He's reading it. He's not. How can he be reading it?
You're holding a board up in front of him.
It's the Ray and Alan consistency thing again, isn't it? I mean, the characters are what they want them to be on any particular day.
Yes, yeah.
And, I hadn't really noticed it. So where are we with this episode? Series 5?
Yep, second episode of the 5th TV radio series.
Second episode of the 5th.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So quite late in the run.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I know. I think as well. I just going back to that opening scene. Some of the lines of like he says to Hattie, "I notice you've got 84 editions of this rag in your office, all thumbed over, held together with sticky tape and all of that,
I notice that you've got 84 editions of this rag in your office, all of them thumbed over with great reddish, dog-eared and stuck together with sticky tape. Box of chocolates and half a dozen of these, you're well away, aren't you?"
You've got to know what sort of men are out there. You're just sorry you haven't met any of them,
Fantastic, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a brilliant moment as well. It really paints a picture. I've heard this episode hundreds of times since I was a wee 8-year-old lad back in the early 90s. But this one, much I suppose like Hancock joins the police, I can see it in my mind's eye. It's so descriptive, and you've got, it's quite a simple setup. You've got the opening scene, opening third of the episode, at home talking about this libelous magazine, which we'll come back to. Then you've got the taxi ride, Blabbermouth office, the court, back home again, over. So it's quite structured. So I mean, it would work quite well as a TV episode had they ever.
I was just going to say
wanted
that.
to adapt it.
Yes, it would. Yeah, definitely would. Back to the opening sequence. Tony, how can you read muck like this? Hattie, I only read it. You are in it.
You're in it.
Definitely a bit of menace in that.
That emphasis on the "you" in that.
You are in it. Yeah.
This is why Hattie was paid the big bucks. I mean, she deserved it. She was a fantastic performer.
Yeah. As I said at the beginning, that performance from Hattie in that opening 10, 12 minutes, I think is probably some of the best that she did within Hancock's half hour. I just think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Then we get on to Hancock under the table with Mabel at the bag of nuts. And she said, "Oh, about him, what's it? That's why she's sitting on your lap, nibbling your left ear." And he says, "My left ear has not been nibbled since the dog
had a go at it.
Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely superb.
I've never seen that girl in my life.
That's why she's sitting on your lap, nibbling your left ear, I suppose.
My left ear has not been nibbled since the dog had a go at it.
It's been quite a while since it's been mentioned that Tony had a dog. That was way back in series 3, I think it was. It was the last time you effectively... But there's often a reference to him having a dog or a cat.
What, the pet dog?
Yeah, the pet dog with Andre.
Yeah. The bag of nuts where he went to go. I wonder whether it was there's a pub in London called the Bag of Nails, and it was only a few minutes' walk from the Grafton Arms. And I wonder whether that inspired the name of this place, although it wasn't. It was meant to be a club rather than a pub. But
was it of that period? It's not more recent.
No, the pub has been there for many years. There was a later club called the Bag of Nuts, but that didn't come along until the 60s. But the Bag of Nails was a pub, and I think it's been in its present form for, going back right to the start of the 1900s or something. It's been around a long time.
Potentially. I've never heard of anything else that could be a reference, but it is a very descriptive name, the Bag of Nuts.
Yes, it just...
sounds like a gay bar to me.
What it is, it's just a perfect name. It's a perfect name for that sort of venue, isn't it?
Yeah. What was Tony Hancock doing under the table with a cigarette girl at the Bag of Nuts?
That's what we'd all like to know.
I know you would, but this is fantastic. I've never been to the Bag of Nuts.
It sort of says seedy in some respect, doesn't it, for some reason, I suppose.
Yeah, you sort of get that feeling, don't you?
I quite like as well that, Mabel is quoted in the article. It's like, "Oh, a lover boy Hancock, he took me back to his luxury Mayfair flat." That's this place. This is 2.5 rooms of distempered rubbish.
She then goes into more details.
Show me. Let's have a look at this tripe. He invited me back to his luxury Mayfair flat. That's this place. 2.5 rooms of distempered rubbish. Mayfair.
Which is a wonderfully descriptive but probably inaccurate word. Distemper is like a dog's paw disease or something, from what I understand.
Oh no, I think it was a type of paint. It was a water-based paint.
You put it on the wall, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was made from... Was it made from chalk or lime or something like that?
Wasn't it some sort... I always thought it was some sort of emulsion or some sort of... did you put it on damp walls or something like that?
Well, I think so, and I think it was all natural. So it was made from chalk or lime, and then it had something like, animal glue or whatever they used to use in those days.
Yeah.
I think to sort of keep it all together. But I think it was quite a cheap type of paint.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
The binder may be glues or vegetables of animal origin, excluding egg. Soft distemper is not abrasion resistant, may include binders such as chalk, ground pigments, or animal glue. Hard distemper is stronger and wear resistant and can include seisin or linseed oil as binders. There we go. And there I was thinking, well, that's like you've got dog with hurty foot. Which is probably the more common type of distemper you might have heard about these days.
Yeah, I don't know whether I would imagine that's probably a dated reference, I would think, these days.
Probably. But now we know, see?
Yep,
I have been educated. But then again, I always thought that Handel's Lager was a type of light ale, so there you go.
The correct name is Handel's Largo, isn't it? It's not, although he says Largo.
No, he does say Largo, but I always hear it as Lager.
Yeah. I heard it as Lager,
You have to listen to him. He does say Largo, but it's not that obvious. It's not
he
clear.
Does. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's, I'm not really into opera particularly, but I think that's opening aria from the opera Circe, or is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
I thought he was going to say I'm not into lager normally, but
he needs it to get through the opera.
Yeah.
And of course, you get about halfway through, you get your big Kenneth scene with this episode, and this is interesting as well because obviously Kenneth only has the 2 roles in this. You've got him as a taxi driver, who basically is playing his father, Charlie Williams.
Here, mate. Blabbermouth building.
There'll be 6 and 9.
Never 6 and 9 indeed. I'm not paying that, it's only a mile and a half.
Yeah, but we come a long way round so I could wave to my girl. You saw her?
Oh, the one mending the boots in the shop window.
Yeah.
Very nice, too.
Oh, he's delightful as the taxi driver, and then obviously subsequently you've got him as the very Felix Aylmer. Is this a Cox's apple judge, you know? But you also have John Vere in this episode, and this is the only radio episode that John Vere did. He did quite a few television episodes. He crops up regularly, but I wonder if he was in this episode because if Kenneth had played that role, he'd have played it as Snide, and they killed off Snide at the end of the 4th episode, more or less, didn't they? At the end of the 4th series, I should say.
They didn't kill him. He was not dead, but he was certainly injured.
Maybe mortally wounded. He's injured and he never reappears.
Yeah, he was definitely injured.
You're assuming he might just have gone away, John. He wasn't.
He's just gone to a farm, eh? I see, Tim. I see. Yeah.
But what I was going to say with this Kenneth taxi driver thing, it's got a lot in common with the Snide, not in the voice, but the fact that they use the Snide character as a device to provide a bit of light relief or keep the script going or something. Now, what you've got here, this goes on for about 3 or 4 minutes with Kenneth as the taxi driver, but it adds nothing to the overall plot of the programme at all. It's just like a separate scene, and it's similar to the Snide stuff, and it's also similar to the little asides that Alan does in the early series, when they're completely irrelevant little stories. And this is just a little sketch with a passenger and a taxi driver that could probably go in any episode.
Yeah,
could go anywhere, couldn't it?
That's right.
And he does it so well, Kenneth. I mean, it's just brilliantly done. I think it's one of the highlights of the episode, although it's got actually nothing to do with the plot.
That'll be 6 and 9.
Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it?
Plus sixpence for every passenger.
There's only
There's only me.
Yeah.
And me. You're the driver. I'm not
You're
paying
the
for you.
Oh, we're knocking off then. We'll call it 6 and 9.
We'll call it 6 and 9. Oh, I love that.
You've got to pay your fare, 6 and 9 plus 6pence surcharge for every additional passenger.
But there's only me.
And me.
I'm not paying for you, you're the driver.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll knock it off then. We'll call it 6 and 9.
We'll call it 3 bob.
No, mate, no. No, I'm obliged by law to charge you what's on a clock.
Your clock's fast.
As well, it's like, well, it's only a mile. Well, I took the long route so I could wave to my girl. So you carry on your love life your own time. You saw her in the window with mending the boots. I bet she can hold a few hundred tacks in that mouth.
I bet you can hold a few hundred tacks in that mouth, eh?
She holds the All England record for rubber soles.
Really, how very uninteresting.
Yeah. 36.4 seconds from ripping off to nailing on.
That's a wonderful line as well. It gives such a visual description.
Yeah.
And I just think he's great. And then, of course, at the end, he said, well, it's 1 and 6 change. Is it? Well, yeah, it is if you want me to unlock the doors.
Yeah. Now, do you mind unlocking the door and letting me out?
All right, 6 and 9pence, please.
Oh, here you are.
Thank you. Change it in note. 6 and 9 from Tim Bob, it's 1 and 6 change.
Is it?
Well, easy if you want the door unlocked.
Oh, you're a rogue.
Yeah, that's right.
Such a twister. And then he goes on about, how people are so money mad these days, which reminds me, I better get out of the street before he has a close look at that 10 bob note. So they're just as bad as each other.
Yeah.
But that's a common Hancock trait, isn't it? Where he says something and then automatically reverses to something else. So,
It always makes me think of the cartoon. Maybe it was Top Cat or something. It's one of those cartoons where a character always had a coin, but it was on a string, so he put it in, they pull it back out.
That's Top Cat, yeah. He tips the taxi driver and then pulls the string, doesn't he?
Yeah. Probably based on a Phil Silvers show episode.
Phil Silvers, yeah.
Well, the whole show was, so.
Oh, could be. Yeah, I was going to say the taxi driver in the script very unusually doesn't say Ken. It just says driver. And the judge doesn't say Ken, it just says judge. But the part that John Vere plays in the script says Ken.
Ah, right, okay.
So I don't know whether there was a thought that perhaps John was going to play the taxi driver and the judge. Who knows? But anyway,
I could see John as the judge. I couldn't see him pulling off the taxi driver.
No.
He's a little bit too posh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's funny, I think they often did this. They probably had cast members in mind, and then either because they looked at it and thought, well, actually, this doesn't quite work, or, availability or something, and then they changed it. We had this because one of the John Lemez episodes on TV was, we covered this once before, was actually scripted for someone else.
It was, yes.
John was obviously a late replacement. And there was another one I found recently, in The Oak Tree. Now, the Oak Tree, you have Hugh Lloyd playing brilliantly the tree inspector. In the script, it doesn't say it's Hugh Lloyd. Do you know who it is in the script?
No.
Arthur Mullard.
Oh,
right. Okay.
And Arthur, I mean, to me, and in fact, I think he was in it as one of the people cutting down the tree or something, but he didn't play the Hugh character. And I think when you look at that little exchange that Hancock has with Hugh, exchanging platitudes like he does in The Blood Donor, I just don't think it would have worked with Mullard in the way it does with Hugh. And that might have been what they realised. But in the script, that's what it says.
Ah, fascinating.
It's interesting, isn't it? And I mean, I think, John Vere had he was a gay gentleman. He died at the very young age of 45 in 1961. So I don't quite know how he died, but it was very young, and he was a wonderful performer. He looked about 10 to 15 years older than he actually was, in the episodes we've seen him in. But then he was bold, so that'll do that for you when you're in your early 40s and you've got no Barnet.
Yeah, and so I wonder why he was chosen. I did look, and he was. I know this is the second episode of this series, but the previous Hancock's Half Hour was the television series, the third television series, and John Vere, of course, was in that. That was Hancock's 43 Minutes, which we're going to look at in the next podcast.
Yeah.
So I wondered if that gave Ray and Alan the idea, because it was only a month later that this radio series was on.
Yeah, he was available. He was, proven performer with Tony and the gang, I suppose.
He might have said at a TV episode, I'd quite like to do a radio one or something like,
it's quite possible, isn't it?
Just a chat. Yeah. I mean, I think people were brought in these sort of circumstances, weren't they?
Yeah. So I know John's obviously got the part where he's getting Tony in to see Sid, and he's the court usher.
Yeah.
Do we think he's also the guy who calls cab?
Taxi? Oh, yes, that's definitely John.
Yeah. I think it is as well.
Roles.
So he's got 3 roles then, hasn't he, in this?
Yeah.
They all sound exactly the same, but he's got 3 roles.
Yeah. I listened to that and I thought, I think that must be John. Yeah.
I do. I mean, he's delightfully camp, isn't he? But I love his role of, oh, you look wonderful, material. Very debauched.
Oh, yes. You look wonderful, material. Very debauched.
I am not a cleaner living lad. Never stepped foot in this building.
Touchy, aren't we? Let me see now. You want to sue us. Now, which are you? What have we published this week? Oh, yes. A very good edition, this one. Are you what went on in the back row of the cinema?
No, I am not. I am Mabel under the table, page 11.
My mother has left me. Oh, motherless, what have we done? It's not what you've done, it's what you've said that I've done that worries me,
So you can see why I'm perturbed. Distressed is more the word. My mother has left me.
Oh, how touching. How terribly moving. A man's best friend is his mother. It's enough to kill you. My dear chap, my heart goes out to you. If there's anything I can do, just say so.
Let me speak to the editor.
Of course, you poor, poor man. Motherless, what have we done?
It's not what we've done, it's what you've said that I've done that worries me.
Then he says, I've been trying to get rid of her for years.
I do hope your mother comes back. Oh, I don't. I've been trying to get rid of her for
Yeah,
years.
for years.
Harry Wise, you've been most helpful, thank you.
Pleasure. I do hope your mother comes back.
I don't. I've been trying to get rid of her for years.
There are a lot of these sort of jokes in Hancock's half hour, and I don't know how often Lily Sennett, Hancock's mother, was in the audience at these shows, but I'm sure if she was around, she got a complimentary ticket. And I kind of hope that she was sat there and giggling away with the rest of them when that line was delivered, because it's a very funny one.
Yeah, it is good. And then, of course, Tony has to go through the door marked boiler room for Sid's safety, because all these people
had
who want
to devise a strategy, didn't they?
Yes, want to do him in.
Threatened to do him.
And once again, Sid comes in on about 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, as well, he's... I thought I recognised that wood alcohol voice of yours. And as far... I don't know if that description of Sid's voice is used in another episode. I had a look to see.
I was thinking that, yeah.
But I couldn't... I'm sure it was in 13th of the month, but no, not that I can see from the script.
I was just going to say, is it 13th of the series? Right, okay.
But
I thought
now, as far as
well.
I can tell, this is the only one that he uses that particular phrase in. But it's so synonymous because it's such a wonderful description. Wood alcohol voice.
Yeah.
All right, you're clean. You can turn around now.
Thank you. I'll have my watch back if you'd... Sid James, I might have known. I thought I recognised that wood alcohol voice of yours. I should have guessed it was someone like you behind this affront to the British sense of fair play.
Don't you talk to me like that, you old reprobate.
I didn't do it, you know that. Why, it's unthinkable. I wouldn't dare risk it, a man in my position. This has completely ruined me for Housewife's Choice, you realise that?
And of course, Sid wants to be sued.
Yeah, he wants to be sued. And can I do a missing bit from the script then? So Sid says it wants to be sued. Sue off your own bat, you'd stand a much better chance. Tony says, well, it's very nice of you to help. I've nothing against you personally. I'd be quite happy if you print a complete denial of the story. Sid, no, I'm sorry, we never print denials. Bad for business. You see, we have our readers to consider. They expect the truth. If we go around printing denials, they wouldn't know where they are. Tony, you're right. It is what they pay for, isn't it? I mean, if people lost confidence in the press, they would have to rely on the BBC for the news. And they can't even get the weather right.
I wonder if the corporation asked them to cut that line.
Yes, I wondered if they did.
Don't want to upset their weather forecasters, their meteorologists going on strike, do they?
But Sid obviously starts off by saying, when he's sort of frisking Hancock to make sure they're okay, he says, stand like they make you do in highway patrol.
Stand back or I'll shoot.
Who's that? Where are you?
Never mind where I am, I can see you. Put your hands on top of your head, place your legs apart and lean your face up against the wall. You know, like they make you do in a highway patrol.
Oh, yes, I know. Then you come up and pat me all over to see if I'm carrying any ironware.
That's it.
Well, hurry up then and go easy by the fourth rib. I'm ticklish.
Oh, you pat me down for ironware, which obviously is a reference to guns and things.
I used to love Highway Patrol when I was a kid. That used to be one of the highlights of the week, watching that.
Yeah, I looked it up. It said there were over 156 episodes from 1955 to 59, all of which survive.
Yeah, you can. I think you can get them in a box set somewhere. But Broderick Crawford played Dan Matthews, and it was one of these programs where a lot of people started who went on to become big stars. Clint Eastwood was in it, Larry Hagman, even Leonard Nimoy. And interestingly, some of the episodes, I think there's about 5 of them, were written by Gene Roddenberry, who went on to do Star Trek, where, of course, Leonard Nimoy was Mr. Spock. So I wonder if that's where they met.
It's quite possible, isn't it?
It's quite interesting because this show references quite a few TV shows. So you've got one of the headlines, I was a cameraman on the 6-5 special.
Special, yes.
Which was a 1957 sort of rock, sort of like a version of Top of the Pops, but from that era. And presumably was, it's rock and roll. It's all sexy and debauched or something. But it only ran for 1 year, from February 57 to December 58. So I suppose that's 18 months, 2 years nearly, isn't it? And they also, he says, of course, this is ruined me for Housewife's Choice, which was a more well-known radio show, which was basically a radio phone-in where people go, this is for Mrs. Marjorie Biggs, with love to all her friends down at the pickle factory. And they'd play in a song or whatever.
And I look at that, I think that ran from the late 40s to right through to the sort of birth of Radio 1 and Radio 2 in the late 60s. Yeah. There's one of the episodes, isn't there, of Hancock's Half Hour where he interrupts whatever he's doing. Oh, is it... No, it's the East Sheen Drama Festival, isn't it? Where during Beethoven's... The Beethoven play at the end, he announces that... He's putting in he says there's a request that would have been on Housewife's Choice, but they didn't have time to fit it in. So here it is, and then they play a polka. Yeah.
It gets a big laugh, doesn't it, that one? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say there's also references to various other things, such as the Big Five, which were the 5 heads of criminal investigation in Scotland Yard.
Well, I feel that I'm within my rights as a citizen to bring this whole sordid affair to the attention of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
When you see him, give him this week's copy and tell him he's 6 months behind any subscriptions.
Yes. I see. Then the Chief of Police might like to take action.
No. He knows if he does, he'll be on the front page of next week's edition. I've got a lovely story hanging over his helmet. Who locked himself in the back of the Black Maria with a policewoman?
The Big Five?
Yeah, well, I got something on 4 of them. I'm having the other one followed. Now then, if you want my advice, boy, I'd take out a civil action. Sue me off your own bat. You stand a much better chance that way.
And I love Sid's retort of, well, I've got something on 4 of them and having the 5th one followed.
Hold on a minute. Where I've never been able to track down the Big Five, so what were they?
They were the heads of department in Scotland Yard, essentially the heads of... so if you Google Big Five Police...
I've done that several times.
The Big Five was the nickname given to the 5 superintendents in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department at Scotland Yard, the headquarters of the Met. From about 1906 onwards, the term was dropping from currency by the 1970s. So for the best part of 60 years, crime reporters referred to the epithet the Big Five to refer, and it was in things like Edgar Wallace fiction of the era and stuff like that.
That's really interesting.
Well, I've never been able to find that.
No, I looked up, no, it's funny enough, I looked up the Big Five, and it came up and it just says, the Big Five in 50s Britain most commonly refers to the Cambridge Five, which was the ring of spies who provide, the Philby, Burgess, Maclean, Blunt and Cairncross, the spy ring. So isn't that interesting? So I wonder which one Ray and Alan were referring to. Oh, to be honest, the CID sounds more like.
I think it sounds like that fits the bill perfectly, doesn't it? Particularly in the context of this with the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Chief of Police and all that. I mean, it fits in with that perfectly. But I looked at this some years ago when Tristan, my predecessor, was the archivist, and we couldn't get the bottom then of who the Big Five were. And I've Googled it and checked it on the internet lots of times. I've never come up with that one about the police, but that sounds just right.
That sounds perfect.
The reason I thought of it is many years ago I saw a film about, sort of vaguely, I think it's The Untouchables, they were called, and that was about the 4 or 5 FBI agents or whoever who were after that old bootlegger, the big old gangster boy, bootlegging alcohol in America in the 20s. Al Capone, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
So it was the people after Al Capone. They were known as the Untouchables. So it's sort of the Untouchables, the Big Five. That sort of gave me a sort of an association. It must be something to do with that because he's referring to various police officers and other people. And he's like, oh well, tell him he's late on this month's subscription. So he's got his fingers in every pie. Does that, Mr. James? You might say it is a case of whichever door you open, Sid's in first.
Sid's in first.
Yes.
Which is another beautiful line, very descriptive.
I love the photo he's going to put in the next edition of Tony in his bedroom, which he's going to say is a Chinese dope den. Well, it looks like a dope den. It looks like a dope den.
I've never been in a Chinese dope den in my life. That's me in bed. Yeah, it looks like one.
Then you leave me no alternative but to give you a preview of what I'm going to print about you next week.
Show me that. Oh, this is going too far. Never been in a Chinese dope den in my life. These photographs are of me in bed at home.
Yeah, well, it looks like a dope den, doesn't it?
I love those. I love these sort of descriptive things of like the doctored photos of, well, we've all got slack face muscles, and yeah.
and of course, don't forget the mad all-night Ludo parties on the Vicar's lawn.
I enjoy that line in particular as well.
I'm so glad you haven't mentioned those mad all-night Ludo parties we held on the Vicar's lawn.
And of course, you know, he then goes about, what are you going to print next week? You know, has wife and 15 kids. Well, you've got a wife. No, it's just a figure of speech.
Oh, so you got kids as well, have you? Now, that's very interesting. I didn't know that. Unsupported, I suppose. Starving with their mother. How many have you got? Where's your wife?
That was just a figure of speech.
She had a figure like a peach.
That's a lovely little
He said
rhyme.
smiling callously.
Smiling callously.
Yeah.
I think that's at the point in which he gets the poker over the head.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting one because, of course, the 1982 LP has some slight edits, and the edits are, in fact, they've replaced both Bill and Sid's ouch noises with another performer going ow, because in the original recording Bill does quite a long ow. In the original episode, Sid just sort of goes oh, and it's not that obvious that Sid's been hit by the poker, but they did replace them for the LP, and I'll pop a clip in here, but I think that's the only occasion that they've sort of done that kind of replacement.
He told me, smiling callously. Oh.
Oh, you?
Yes?
Get the gas poker straightened out, will you?
That was just a figure of speech.
She had a figure like a peach. He told me, smiling callously.
Oh, you?
Yes?
Get the gas poker straightened out, will you?
Well, the thing with so we've got two different owls in this, which we've got the one with a poker, and then we've got another one
with another
a bit
poker
further on.
Yeah.
So the first one is when he says get that gas poker straightened out. I've got the original issue CD from the CD box set, and on that it's a very small owl, but it's much longer on the record.
Yeah.
So they took out a small owl and put in a big owl. Is that what you're saying?
No, what they seem to have done for the 1982 LP release and subsequent cassette releases is they'd replaced certainly Sid's owl where he hits him with the poker, and he also hits Bill just before he leaves to go in the taxi with another poker. Both of those are replaced by someone else going ow. And they're different owls, but they've replaced both Bill's and Sid's. And I can get why they replaced Sid's, because it's not that clear, because it's more of an ooh kind of quiet little noise.
Yeah.
I shall go along and see the editor of this rag and demand that he prints a complete denial of this article. And if he doesn't, I shall sue.
Well done. Hey, Tub, before you go.
Yes?
What's the phone number?
Miss Pugh, get that gas poker straightened out, will you?
I shall go along and see the editor of this rag and demand that he prints a complete denial of this article. And if he doesn't, I shall sue.
Well done. Hey, Tub, before you go.
Yes?
What's the phone number?
Ow! Miss Pugh, get that gas poker straightened out, will you?
It is noticeable. I noticed it years ago when I was in my teens.
On the Sid one, clearly they're different, but the one on the record on the Sid one is a bigger owl than it is on the CD, but it's the other way around for the other owl. I think it's Bill. He lets out this really large owl on the CD, but when it's on the record, it's a much shorter one.
It is, and I can understand why they replaced Sid, but I don't know why they replaced the Bill owl as well.
No, it doesn't make sense. It's interesting.
Doesn't make sense.
No, the transcription service, because we have got copies of the original transcription service in our archives, and it's not edited on that. So it was only edited for that original LP, and then obviously say the subsequent cassette.
For the BBC records and tapes for their commercial arm, yeah.
What I haven't done is I haven't listened to the cassette that had the music added at the beginning and the end. I've only listened to the original one where all of the incidental music was missing. So I don't know. Is the owl also different on that version? Do you know, John?
That I'm not certain on, because I'm not sure that I've got that cassette. I think I had the cassette without the opening and closing, and that is basically the reason is it's the same recording as is on the LP, as far as I'm aware.
As the LP. Yes, I think it is. Yeah.
I might have it. I'll give that a listen if I can find it.
But interesting, and yeah, once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Once you notice.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Moving on, one of the things that was quite interesting, I thought, was when he's with the judge, he makes there's a line about a cider apple, isn't it? When he says,
"Hello, Judge, have an apple." Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think it's a cock's apple. And then he does the crunching sound effects get quite a laugh, and obviously that's not Kenneth eating the apple. There's a sound effects guy presumly
Sound
doing
effects
that
man,
to one
yeah.
side.
Having a nice apple standing.
Foley artist.
Yeah, having a nice bite of his apple.
Good morning, Judge. Have an apple.
Thank you very much. Granny Smith, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is.
Very nice. Proceed.
In the magazine you have before you, I am the subject of a disgraceful article, every word of which I refute.
Do you? I think this is a cox's article.
Your Honour, are we here to discuss the origin of your apple or settle a case?
But the reference to the cider apple gets a huge laugh in the audience, and I can't quite work that one out.
Well, he's talking about the apple. I thought he's drunk. It must be a cider apple.
He's drunk. It must have been a cider apple.
So I don't know. You know,
It's a gag, but it's not that much of a gag, is it? It seems I think we've had this before, where certain lines appear to get a disproportionate gag, and you never know what's going on in the background.
I expect it's that one of our delightful performing cast there have pulled a face that. You know, you can imagine Kenneth making a face, or Tony making it, or both of them maybe, that really kind of set the audience off with those lines. And of course, he's playing this sort of Felix Aylmer type voice judge, and you know, he's sort of they're very creaky kind of. Although he's quite interested, it's like. I noticed there's this young lady on page 6. Is she in the case? No. Oh, what a pity.
What a pity.
What a pity.
Wait a minute. The picture on the front cover is of a young girl in a leopard skin bikini. Is she in the case?
No.
What a pity.
And then, of course, you get a reference to slightly earlier in the episode where Sid says, you know, if I told my readers Sabrina was Arthur Askey's mother, they'd believe me. She's not, is she? Oh, no, well, because there is a bit of a resemblance, you know. And Sabrina and Arthur Askey had appeared on quite a few TV and radio shows together, doing comedy skits and bits and pieces. So I quite like that.
It's where Sabrina started out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's where she rose to fame. Yeah.
Probably because Arthur came up to a certain height on her, I expect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's probably it.
If I told them Sabrina was Arthur Askey's mother, they'd believe me.
Well, I don't. Now, the point is, Sid, she's not, is she?
No.
I'm just making sure, because there is a resemblance.
And of course, Sid's pretty busy, isn't he? Because he's due in court 3 at 4 and court 4 at 5.
That's a brilliant line as well. How he managed to do that without flubbing over it like Smith and Jones or Fothergill and Weatherspoon, I don't know. But
that was a great
nice.
line. Yeah.
Sid's obviously kept quite busy by the legal system with all of his libelous magazine publications.
And then, of course, we got the delightful Hattie again, now as Mabel Biggs.
Yes.
Don't be frightened of all these bad men. I'm here.
I'm here. I quite like the line as well. My favourite line of her is Mabel. She goes, "Well, my dear, if you prefer, we could have the rest of the proceedings held in camera." "Oh, do you mean on the telly? Oh, I have to go get my hair done."
When we arrived at his flat, he put the light out.
And then what happened?
Well, I'd rather not say.
Oh, come, my dear. With the courtmaster here, this evidence, perhaps you would rather have the rest of the proceedings held in camera.
Oh, you mean on telly? Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Of course, I'd have to have my hair done.
Well, so much for her delicate feelings. Your Honour, it should be clear even to you that this girl is nothing but a sensation seeker, willing to lend her name to any sordid affair for the sake of a few quid.
She's brilliant in that, isn't she?
Yeah.
Playing sort of floozy, I suppose you'd call it.
She did something similar in another episode, didn't she? I haven't checked this out, but I seem to remember she.
Oh yeah, definitely she has done.
She's done this sort of young girl type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think which one, but there's definitely other episodes, and there are occasions when Miss Pugh's character behaves in such a way.
Yeah.
I quite like as well. Do you recognise that fat, depraved maniac over there? Objection, my lord. Well, how would you describe yourself? Well, clean-limbed, sort of healthy lad. Objection overruled. Those little bits there are brilliant.
Now then, Mabel, tell us. Do you recognise that fat, depraved maniac over there?
Objection! He's creating a false impression of me.
Then how would you describe yourself?
Well, a clean-limbed, healthy sort of lad.
Objection overruled.
Oh, yes, I recognise him all right. That's him. He's the one.
All right,
That's
Mabel.
him.
All right, dear. All right.
And of course, you got them. He calls Bill as his, witness because he's a desperate man.
Shows how desperate I am. Call Bill Kerr.
Shows how desperate he is.
Yeah. And then he holds up the board.
Bill's got quite a small part in this, hasn't he? I mean, he has that bit at the beginning, and he does this bit here, but he's very much the poor relation in this particular episode.
Yeah, I mean, Tony's the big star. Hattie's got a fairly reasonably large part in it. Sid's got a slightly smaller part, and then you've got, Ken's probably got more to do in this than Bill, and then John Vere probably with these just one of the bit scenes, as it were.
Yeah.
And of course, another line that I like, although it doesn't get that much of an audience reaction, is the judge going, "Oh dear, the Greek civilization collapsed because of behaviour like this,"
Page 11, under the table with Mabel at the bag of nuts. Is this you?
Yes, Your Honour.
Oh, what a way to conduct yourself. The Greek civilization collapsed through this kind of thing.
Yeah, and actually it's after that line that Tony says he's drunk, it must have been a cider apple.
Because this idea of these fusty old judges kind of thing was I think there's a satire. It's based on certain judges that were around in the day. I think there was
absolutely, yeah.
Isn't there another episode where the judge character played very much in the same way by Ken? It says, what is a television? Something obvious that people would know. But I think there was a legal precedent for having to have it explained in case members of a jury didn't know what they were referring to or something. It's something like that.
I think there was a thing that judges were meant to be out of touch, and back in the day, I think all the judges were quite old. I don't know how the system has changed, but Peter Cook used to do the judge stuff, didn't he, in his stuff in the 60s. So, what Peter Cook was doing in the 60s was quite similar to Kenneth doing the Galton Simpson stuff in the 50s, wasn't it?
And those two men are very related because, of course, Peter wrote a number of sketches for Kenneth, didn't he? I've got an asp in this box, which Peter then subsequently went on to perform himself, but originally he wrote it for Kenneth to perform on stage.
Was that in Pieces of 8, John? Was that Pieces of 8? Yeah, I think that was Pieces of 8. Yeah.
That's a review, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, of course, the surprising thing about this episode is essentially Tony wins, of course, the libel case, which, regardless or not, Sid sort of wanted it for the publicity because, of course, the more people sue him, the more his circulation goes up.
You fancy the idea of a court case, don't you? What are you up to? If I were you, I'd be dead worried.
Look, son, I want you to sue. Everybody sues me.
I don't understand. What if I'm proved innocent? What then?
Nobody will believe you. I think you've got influence at court. Mud always sticks, boy. Every time I have a court case, the circulation goes up another 1 million.
Well, in that case, I won't sue.
You better, boy. You can't do this to me. I'm relying on it.
I'm sorry. I'm taking no action. I refuse to boost your sales.
Congratulations, Tub. £10,000 damages. Marvellous.
I've cleared my name. That's all to me that matters.
My honour is redeemed.
Well, I don't know what to say. I owe you an apology. I misjudged you. Please forgive me. I was wrong.
To err is human, to forgive divine.
Absolutely. £10,000. How much is that today, Tim?
Well, 10,000, that must be about 500,000, mustn't it?
Probably something along those lines. Shall I have a little independent verify? Hang on. But it was a lot then, certainly, you know. I mean, 10,000 was probably like 15, 20 years worth of wages for most people.
But in Around the World in 80 Days, Sid had a 40,000 side bet.
Yes, he did, didn't he? And I remember we commented on that being absolutely enormous.
Yeah. About 2 mil, isn't it?
well into the millions, yes.
Yeah.
Would buy you a house, £204,793, apparently, is the, according to the Bank of England inflation calculator. What 10,000 would be worth. Buy you a house.
Yeah.
In most places, I think. But, of course, Tony gets the upper hand because then, you know, they kind of, well, I owe you an apology, Mr. Hancock, and all of that, aren't they? And then they leave and they go, oi, Mabel. Hello, lover boy.
Have they gone?
Have they gone? Well, what about my half of the £10,000? Come on, I'll give it to you down at the bag of nuts, reserved our usual table.
Under it, you mean?
Hey.
Yay.
Hello, lover boy. Have they gone?
Yes, come on.
Well, wait a minute. What about my half of the £10,000?
Not here. Somebody may see. I'll give it to you down at the bag of nuts. I booked the usual table.
Under it, you mean, don't you?
Oh, cheeky. Come on, dear. Cab!
It's so rare, isn't it, for Tony to kind of get essentially, you know, twisted by Sid.
Come out on top.
And somehow still come out on top. This is one of the few episodes in which he does. There's a handful, but this stands out as one of the most well-known, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
Wasn't there another one we did a podcast on where we said it was one of the few where Hancock comes out on top? I can't remember which one it was.
No, I can't either. We've done like 45 now, so I can't remember.
Yeah.
Also, so many beautiful lines and so many little bits like that. Such great characterization from all the performers and the cast in it, isn't there?
The lines just come bush the whole way through, don't they? It's just fantastic script, and it just sparkles and it just carries along wonderfully. Absolutely brilliantly written, and it just flows. And the performances are just sublime. It really is a cracking episode.
And then, as you said, we've got this amazing punchline at the end that actually,
yeah,
Tony really was under the table at the bag of nuts with Mabel.
Yeah. Does that mean it's a circular script, Martin?
Oh, what do we reckon, guys?
It starts with being accused of it, and then it ends up with it being proven right. So maybe,
yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I think it's a U-shaped script.
That's a new one.
So then, I think it's probably time to give it some scores. So what do you think of that one, young Tim?
Well, perhaps this might not come as a surprise to you, but I'm going to give this one 10. I think it's a superb episode. It's certainly a go-to for me. I think the script is absolutely brilliant. I think the performances are brilliant. I love the way it just rattles along. I think the opening scene between Hattie and Hancock, as I said earlier, is one of the funniest bits in all of Hancock's half hours. There's a fantastic sequence with Kenneth as the taxi driver. It's a brilliant little piece on the side, if you like, and slots in lovely there. And then you've got John Vere, and you've got the scene in Blabbermouth office, the scene in the courtroom. It's fantastic. I just love listening to this. I always listen to an episode before we do a podcast, but I think this one I'll probably listen to more times than the other. I keep thinking, I'll give it another listen. I just enjoy it so much.
Oh yeah,
it really is a cracker, and it's great that it was released on one of those beautiful LPs in the 80s, whenever it was. And I think that when these episodes are available on record, it does mean that more people are aware of them, and I think this is one that people are aware of, and it's an absolute cracker. 10 out of 10. Can't fault this one at all.
What about yourself, young Martin?
Well, what he says, really, I'm definitely going to go with the 10 as well.
What he said.
Yeah, it's a great episode. You know, I love the Hattie role in this. I think it's probably, as I said earlier, it's probably her best role, or one of the best roles that she has in the Hancock's Half Hours. Script sparkles, runs along at fantastic speed. I love the fact you've got John Vere in this, actually, because he adds just a little extra dynamic to it. Ken's brilliant, of course, in his couple of roles. And it's such a fantastic storyline. And like Tim, it was great it was out on LP. It was how I was introduced to the episode, I believe. I don't think I heard this one as a repeat, so the record was the first time I heard it. And it was through either this record or the one after that I discovered the Tony Hancock Appreciation Society, because of course it's on the back of the record with one of the past president's addresses to write to for details. So I'm sure a lot of our members found the society through these LP releases. But, you know, back to the episode, 10 out of 10, can't fault it. And how about you, John?
Well, I think this one, it's, as you say, I mean, this was released on LP 43 years ago, because it's 2 years older than I am, that LP in particular. And it's a cracker. It's up there. It's in my top 5 Hancock's Half Hours. And I think, you know, if it were possible to give this 11 out of 10, that's what I'd be giving it, because it sings every 30 seconds. There's another perfect line or brilliant performance or one, you know, as we said, Hattie, I mean, she had such range with her voice of going from indignant to terrified to, you know, all of that emotion. She could really put her all into a performance, and I think she really, really shines in this one in particular. But also it's those wonderful witty lines about, you know, the descriptive language, the way you can almost see the Blabbermouth magazine and the proceedings. I mean, they even refer to the courtroom as this drafty cold barn or something, don't they? Like it's something like something out of The Devil and Daniel Webster or something, which relates to a previous Lost Hancock's Half Hour, which was loosely based on it. Brilliant descriptive language, some wonderful sort of topical references for the period, but ones that haven't aged particularly, other than the currency 6 and 9 and 1 and 6 change and all of that. And you can kind of roughly guess what that equates to or whatever. You know, it wouldn't need much updating to work as a comedy if it was remounted tomorrow. But the performances, and they just really hit their stride. Everyone involved, writers, performers. You don't even miss the fact that Snyder's disappeared by this series and doesn't appear, because you've got sort of John Vere in a slightly snide sort of role there, the sort of the Fae kind of character. So I think 11 out of 10. Don't get better than this, and I'd recommend it to all and sundry, and we'll do so at every opportunity. So I think that's an average of 10 points. 10.5 points, perhaps, shall we say, which is a darn sight more than Armful. And I think that's about it for this week. If you want to take it away, Tim.
Why not join us in the Tony Hancock Appreciation Society today? You can find us at tonyhancock.org.uk for all the information on how to join.
For just £13 a year, you'll have access to the members area of our website and receive 4 magazines a year by email, packed with information on Tony, his shows and archive material.
Members also get a digital-only bonus pages supplement every quarter.
Or you can have full-colour printed copies of The Missing Page posted to your door for £16 in the UK or £26 worldwide.
We're a friendly and welcoming bunch, so please do join. We have reunion events with archive displays, guest speakers and special screenings.
Please get in touch. We love questions, conundrums and feedback. To do so is very easy. Send your emails to podcast@tonyhancock.org.uk.
Keep an eye on our Twitter or X accounts for the latest news on the podcast and all things Tony Hancock. Our Twitter/X accounts are East Cheam Lad and Tony Hancock Appreciation Society. We're also on Blue Sky at tonyhancock.bsky.social.
In the next episode, we'll discuss Hancock's 43 Minutes, also known as the East Cheam Repertory Company. a variety-style festive special from the third TV series, as suggested by Jeff Hewson.
For now, that's very nearly an armful, so I'll say ta-ta.
It's sayonara from me.
And this is GLK London closing down for a quick cough and a drag.
So who's for a pint at the Bag of Nuts?
Hey, have you reserved our usual table, Martin?
Oh, that would be telling.
This has been an official podcast of the Tony Hancock Appreciation Society. Unfortunately, it was not written by Alan Simpson and Ray Gordon, whoever they are. The announcer was me, Robin Sebastian, currently appearing in the saloon bar of the Hand and Racket.
Excellent. I won't suggest under it, you mean. Well, I think that was a rather good one.
Another good one, Ronnie.
So much to talk about in that episode. I mean, I could probably wax lyrical here till midnight talking about this episode.